Yo, guys, I woke up and Apple has been cooking for breakfast. Is that corny? Is that a dad joke? I'm a dad, so what do you expect? All right, guys, look, Apple Creator Studio is here, and Apple is coming for Adobe, in my opinion. They're coming for Splice, in my opinion. They're really locking in. This is the ultimate doll wars in real time. So let's hop into it. There's so much to cover here, but I'll try to cover everything. So firstly, it's called Apple Creator Studio. And basically, from my perspective, they're trying to create an all-in-one platform for a simple subscription. So the same way Adobe has like all this stuff for like $1 million a month. Like I can't even get Photoshop with Adobe Premiere for less than like $50 a month. So the fact that we can get this for like 12, what is it? What's the price? $12.99 a month is kind of insane, actually. So yeah, it's a subscription, but people frame this the incorrect way. It's not just subscription. You're basically paying an installment plan to afford this over time. So instead of buying a, $100,000 car, you're only paying what, $500 a month for, however much. That's how you guys should look at this, because Logic Pro is already super underpriced in my opinion. Logic Pro for $200, you can basically get a $2,000, $4,000 keyboard in terms of Logic Pro, and it can do way more stuff than a keyboard can do. So Logic Pro should be priced at $2,000, $4,000. The fact that we're getting this stuff for $200 is like pennies on the dollar. So I would pay for Logic Pro all over again. That's how much value Logic Pro has. Let's see what this Apple Creator Studio is all about. So again, this is, in my opinion, their way of going for the Adobe type creator-based all-in-one solution. So if you want to make music for your videos, if you want to edit your videos, if you want to create images, I think they're going for the creator economy. And this is Apple's time to shine. Now, for those who keep up with the stock, people were worried about Apple because they felt like they were left behind in the AI race. But when you guys fully read this article, I'll link it below, about the Creator Studio, you'll be like, wow, they weren't really slacking. They were just planning strategically. So here it says Logic Pro helps you produce music and perfect audio, and they zoom in on this. And I want to shout out to another YouTuber real quick. All right, go watch this live stream by Logic Pro Life. He covers this in way more detail than I am, because he knows the nuances of nuance. Me, I'm just, bringing the FL Studio workflow over to Logic Pro. And there's a gazillion things they taught me about Logic Pro that I forgot in our meeting with Apple. So shout out to them. They are a tremendous company, and there's a lot you can do in Logic Pro. So I barely cover the surface. So you guys can watch his channel. So we have so much in here that it's insane. Let's go back to the beginning real quick. So again, they're going for, in my opinion, the creator economy. It says endless creativity, unlimited possibilities. We have Final Cut Pro. That's for people who are making content on short form, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Shorts are kind of the hack right now. So if you guys get into shorts right now, you're going to definitely get the advantage. So Final Cut Pro, you can edit your videos in there. I saw stuff, which I don't want to spoil it, but they have like a new beat detector. So basically, if you make music in Logic Pro, let's say you drag in some loops for a quick little small idea for your video, you can drag it into Final Cut Pro and basically get the tempo of the music. So if the music's like this, your video will match the timing of the little clicks that I'm making, and it will be in line. So it's called beat matching, I think is the proper term. So some of these I don't use because I'm not like an expert. Pixelmator, Keynote, that's for like businessy folks. Pages, businessy folks. Numbers, businessy folks. And some of these other ones I don't use necessarily, but they're for creativity. So let's hop over here. So nextly it says, Final Cut Pro gives you smarter, faster ways to craft and cut captivating videos. So again, short form, long form editing can be done in there. Pixelmator Pro lets everyone edit images. Okay, this is the images one. Lets everyone edit images. So I guess, is it like Photoshop? I guess that's my question. Is it like Photoshop? Lets everyone edit images and create striking graphics using powerful intelligence. So if I look at the layers, it looks like, it looks like we have the toolbar similar to. So if this is anything like Photoshop, then that means we can create our thumbnails inside of the Apple ecosystem. And I'm on an Apple, and I'm on a Mac Mini, specifically M4 Pro. Then we have Logic Pro. This is the GOAT of all dolls, in my opinion. This has the cleanest sound. You could do a tremendous amount of stuff in here. It's not just for beginners. You could be pro all the way from beginner to pro. And there's a space above me in Logic Pro. It goes way deeper. So I love Logic's sound. Again, like I said, it's like buying a $4,000 keyboard for $200. The value is insane. The fact that they even gave lifetime value for one price is pretty insane to me. I think I would even buy it 3 more times over if I had to. So it says intelligent features and premium content amp up productivity in Keynote, Pages, Numbers, and Freeform. So again, it's looking like they're embedding some kind of image generation tools in here, so you can create better PowerPoints for pitch decks. You have what was it? What was the other one? Darn, I forgot that fast. Okay, numbers, pages. Okay, so it looks like anybody creating anything. Okay. So nextly, it says one powerful collection, one smart subscription. I do think this is going to be a game changer because firstly, the price is insane. $12.99 per month. That's less than everything Adobe offers right now. You can't even get Photoshop for $12 a month. And that's just Photoshop. Okay, so then students and educators get in for $2.99 a month, which is really insane because that is like, I'm sure it costs them more money for us to download their stuff than they get in exchange for the $2.99. So I'm curious what their business model is with this because the prices are really, really, really competitive. So I'm questioning how are they going to profit necessarily? My assumption is they're going to go for like the Fortnite thing, which is like get people on the platform first, then you could do all the microtransaction stuff and the upgrade stuff, the upsells later. I think that's going to be their business model for this. And I'm down for it because Apple is just impeccable. Like they are the standard. Okay, so it says new devices, 3 months free. So dope. So they want you guys to expand into your iPads and other Mac purchases. Okay, so it says Final Cut Pro, for those who don't know, again, a video editing program. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm just going to read the headline here. It says the ultimate video creation experience, craft with power and precision using Final Cut Pro on Mac and iPad with intuitive tools designed to elevate every frame. Your vision moves from concept to cinematic story at the speed of thought. All right, so it says here are some key features, start to finish performance, shoot pro level footage with complete control in Final Cut camera on iPhone. There's an app for that? That's fire. Okay, so I didn't even know that. Shoot pro level footage with the app on iPhone, then edit on your iPad or your Mac with powerful and approachable tools and effects, fine tune the audio and share your finished story. So what I love about Apple is that because they have a DAW, they understand how we think about audio. So if you translate that mindset over to a Final Cut Pro, it's like it just works more seamlessly in terms of mindset. It's very important because we producers tend to hack together a bunch of random programs that don't have the same mindset. So it says instantly find the moment you're looking for. Here's a cool feature for video editing. It says track down a shot without scrubbing through footage. So if you shoot long videos like I do and without editing, and you talk about all types of stuff during live streams, and you have podcasts, you can basically type in a keyword and it will find that thing for you in the footage visually and through the keywords. Okay, that you use in the actual transcript. So it says track down a shot without scrubbing through footage using visual search. That's crazy. And locate the perfect soundbite with only a few keywords using transcript search. So I'm curious if transcript search, let me read this real quick. So I haven't tried this feature yet, but it says transcript search in Final Cut Pro requires Mac with an Apple Silicon. So basically the M1, M2, M3, M4, you got to have one of those computers. And Mac OS 15.6. I'd highly recommend you guys upgrade. If you're on an Intel Mac, I'd highly recommend. I have a MacBook Pro back here on the Intel chip. I'm kind of mad I didn't buy it at the M1 stage because the M series of chips is just a whole different thing. Okay, it's a whole different thing. And it could just do so much more. So I'd recommend you guys update your, now if you're on a MacBook, I'd actually recommend the Mac Mini. The value for this thing, again, is insane. Okay, the Mac Mini, all you got to do is just buy the peripherals, like your own display. You could buy your own little wireless keyboard. You could buy your own little trackpad. And basically, the Mac Mini is like this big. And then you just add stuff to it. It's really useful for producers, in my opinion. So again, I'm not sure if they do transcripts automatically or not. So I have to test that out myself. But the fact that they could search using AI to have that modality to know what things are in your actual video, that saves so much time. And like I said, because they know what DAWs are, I'm curious if they know more knowledge about certain keywords of a DAW, because that's another hang up is like you can hire a video editor all day long, but if they don't know about music production, good luck, because they don't know what to actually pay attention to. So the same thing with AI. So it says video editing with speed and flexibility. The magnet timeline lets you move and trim freely while maintaining synchronization so you can explore endless creative possibilities. Connected clips and storylines hold your edit together. Multicam helps you cut the perfect interview, and auditions let you find the best take. So I assume multicam, I'm assuming, I have no idea if this is right. I assume the multicam feature lines up the audio to where if you have multiple, sorry, y'all, I'm out of breath because I had to run to get my son. If you have multiple cameras, I guess they assume the conversation and they line up the audio. I'm making that up. I don't know if that's true. Okay, so perfect timing every time. Here's what I was talking about earlier. Beat detection matches your music's rhythm so you can align clips effortlessly and keep your edits in sync with the beat. So again, modern shorts to get, have captivating hooks, they tend to be, when they have that TikTok that goes like, phoom, 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 phoom. I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay, that would be beat detection and beat matching. Okay. So you can do cool things like making your audio match up with the visual transitions naturally instead of the rhythms being offset and janky. Here it says beautiful customizable graphics. Add professionally designed motion graphics to your project with motion. Okay, that's dope. So you can do basically lower thirds and titles and all types of stuff. That used to be my weak spot when it came to video editing. I'm not a graphic designer, so there's a lot of stuff about that I don't understand. So if we can easily do things like lower thirds and transitions and stuff like this that requires animation, it says add professionally designed motion graphics, and it's in motion as well, okay, to your project with motion in Apple Creator Studio. That's going to be definitely needed for modern video editing. Or select graphics from third-party providers like Motion, Video Effects, FX Factory, and more. So I assume there's like some library you guys can choose from. And then it says fast delivery, quickly batch export files that are optimized for any size from your iPhone screen to the big screen. You can even use compressor to customize export settings using a variety of pro formats. So again, I would have to get hands-on to really understand that. This one I'm not as familiar with. It's called Pixelmator, if I'm saying that right. Creative imaging and design made for everyone. Edit and design using intelligent tools that bring your vision to life. From social posts to billboards, Pixelmator Pro simplifies every step of your projects. Effortlessly customize vector designs or typography, then let powerful features help your imagination take shape. So again, I don't know if this is like their version of Photoshop. It says speed up your workflow. Intelligent features automate image edits like background removal, image repair, detail enhancement, color adjustment, and more. So I guess it's like their version of like a Photoshop, or what's the other one? Lighthouse or whatever, or Lightroom, whatever the other one is. Layering without limits. Use simple building blocks, shape, text, video, and image layers to create virtually anything you can imagine. Add effects, adjust composition, and experiment freely with non-destructive editing, knowing every change is reversible. That's, again, dope. Then it says stunning templates and mockups. So again, I guess they're going for like I said, they're going after everybody. Adobe, Canva, Splice. They're going for everybody's neck. This doll war, this is beyond the doll wars. This is Star Wars at this point. So it says stunning templates and mockups. Start working from professionally crafted templates and beautiful mockups for social media and print. Like I said, they are really going for the creator economy in an all-in-one bundle, which is priced less than Photoshop for all the tools all in one. That alone is they're really coming for next. So it says typographic control. Use any font and customize your text with everything from sophisticated styles. So I want to try this. I want to see, like, is it similar workflow to Photoshop? Because if it is, then I might as well just use all the native stuff. Fully optimized for touch on iPad too. So this reminds me of Procreate in a way, but I'm not sure if that's how that works. Okay, so you guys can tell me more in the comments about how that works. Next, the big dog, the big news. Logic Pro, the fast track to the final mix, wherever you go. Create with intelligent session players, cutting-edge beat-making tools, and a massive sound library seamlessly across Mac and iPad. Logic Pro makes music production easier than ever. I will say they have the greatest sounds in a DAW, period. In terms of like stock sounds, they have the best, period. So Logic Pro, it says music production with AI session players. Produce with a full band of musicians that can lay down polished synth, bass, keyboard, and drums that adapt in real time to your musical taste. So for example, like let's say you're really good at making chords and top line melody, but you just struggle with the bass line like me last night during the live stream. You could actually have Logic Pro go in and systematically and stylistically create a bass line using their actual plugins inside the DAW. I'm not sure if you could switch out the plugin for the actual bass player, because that'd be dope too, and just kind of use their MIDI information. I'm not sure how that works, but that is fire, because wherever you're weak, you can have that extra band player just step in. And that's really helpful. I think they added something called the synth player, which is a newer player. So they had drummer, they had bass, they had, I assume, keyboard player. Yeah, it says keyboard player. So for people who are used to Suno Studio, for example, they have the different tracks you can create. So Logic Pro, instead of just giving you audio, they give you the MIDI so you can actually adjust it and create it in real time. So that's really useful for people who produce in Logic Pro. Then it says from idea to final master. They have something called the mastering assistant, which is really helpful for people who just want a one button solution for mastering, and you can go and adjust everything. It's not just like this cookie cutter thing. Then it says, now, in my opinion, they have the best stem splitter on the planet. Okay, I don't know what kind of magic they ran with this thing, but the stem splitter is basically giving you like 6 new songs to every sample that you have. So if you're a sample lover like myself for hip hop, you're basically creating 6 new songs every time you run it through the stem splitter. It is insane. Like the vocals have the reverb on it still. The drums even have, if they have the reverb on it, and it's like super isolated. Insane. Like they have the best stem splitter on the market, in my opinion, and we've tested them in a video before. So from idea to final master fast, supercharge your workflow with intelligent tools like stem splitter, the mastering assistant, to help you fine tune your creative process so you can produce, refine, and finish in no time. And I will say that is, this alone, the stem splitter is a game changer. Okay. Now, here's the stuff they were talking about that I never got into just yet. So I was on a call with them before, but they were explaining to me so much stuff in Logic Pro. I tried to take notes and I lost the notes and I forgot all the stuff that was in there. So you could basically go, this is why I love Apple, because everything connects. So you can go on your iPhone, for example, record into the voice memo, and it says voice memos let you record anywhere using your iPhone, iPad, Mac, or Apple Watch. I didn't even know that. Then bring your recording straight into Logic Pro to take your music to the next level. So this is like how we go into Suno, for example. We just drop in some audio recording that we did. Same thing with Logic. You can just take your voice memos straight from the app that we use to record our voice memos and drag it right into Logic. And we can use all these other tools to start building around it. So I'm curious how they're going to go about their AI generation. I'm not sure if they're going for a Suno approach or if they're just going to keep it at the level where it's simply like the the session players. We'll see in due time. But Apple is similar to Google, how Google sneakily was building a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Like I told you guys before, there's a Suno competitor out there that nobody's talking about, and it comes out of Google's camp, and it's called Music AI, and it's very, 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 very good. So who knows? Apple might be cooking their own. Who knows? Beat making tools, build custom drum kits with any sample. Wait, build custom drum kits. Oh, they're just saying what it is. Okay, build custom drum kits with any samples or instruments, then easily reshape melodies and rhythms with step sequencer and craft the perfect beat. All right, now here's the new thing that I really think is, they are really coming for next. I'm telling y'all, they are coming for complete slaughtering of the market. So this, in my opinion, is their version of like a splicer. You guys saw how FL Cloud was integrated into FL Studio. You guys saw how Splice did a partnership with Ableton and I think Pro Tools. So Logic Pro was like, oh, y'all thought that was cute. Okay, they made their own sound library. So shout out to Count. I want to acknowledge the GOAT of all drum kits. Holy moly. They got Count on their side. This is about to be actual fire. For those who don't know, Count is a freaking, he told me one time he spent 4 hours on a groove of a percussion loop. 4 hours to master the groove on a percussion loop. I hope you guys understand how much of a master this guy is when it comes to organic drums and organic textures and that hip hop tone. Go buy every drum kit from him. Apparently you can get his drum kits, I guess, in this massive sound library. So it says from loops to samples to patches. So you get presets, which would be dope. I'll definitely sound design presets for you guys. You got loops for people who make loops. You got samples for people who do like one shots, like Count, for example. And apparently you get presets as well, or patches for synthesizers, so that you don't have to design your own sounds. That is insane. So they are really coming for next, like I said. And it's just, I guess they just call it the sound library. I'm not sure the name of this, but it says massive sound library from loops to samples to patches. Get thousands of royalty-free sounds in an ever-growing collection so you can build tracks without boundaries. I guess Apple was like, okay, if Splice can be worth 500 million, we're Apple. We can definitely make Splice. And here they go doing the Splice thing. And they definitely are going to be worth way more than 500 million on this. Because they're turning it into a subscription. So for those who don't know, in the stock market and different like investing, I don't know, I'm not a pro. So go watch Earn Your Leisure, watch Ian Dunlap. And basically anytime you convert your pricing from like a standard one-off price to a subscription, it's considered more safe income, cash flow. So companies can sell for a lot more when it's recurring income. Okay, now I doubt Apple's going to sell to anybody, but they're definitely going to get a lot of investor dollars. because they see that steady income. So I can't wait to see this blow up. This is not only going to attract music people. I think this is the part that is super critical. Is this is not just for music producers. It's not just for graphics people. It's for the creator economy. Okay, a trillion. I don't even know the trillions. I forgot the exact number they put on the creator economy years ago. This is for the person making YouTube. This is for the person on TikTok. This is for the person making reels on Instagram. This is for the person who has a YouTube channel and makes music production content. This is for live performers. This is for podcasters. This is for the entire creator force. So this is not just a music thing, but the Logic Pro news is important for us music folks. So nextly, it says instruments and effects. Dial up authentic vintage keyboards or powerful modern synths to give your tracks a distinctive vibe and explore a complete suite of effect plugins for detailed sound shaping and mixing. So like I said, Apple's amount of detail they put into Logic Pro is insane. Okay, let's move on here. So this is what I thought was cool too. It looks like they have a new image generation partnership. So let me read this correctly. So I'm not sure which article I read about the partnership, but it says, yes, Apple has a partnership with OpenAI that integrates ChatGPT's image generation capabilities into Apple's upcoming operating systems, iOS 18, iPad OS 18, and Mac Sequoia. So I'm not sure where that is. I read that somewhere. I know I'm not going crazy, but let me know in the comments below if you guys saw this. So here we're going to read the final feature or benefit. I got to take a deep breath. It says Keynote pages numbers freeform. Go from an idea to done in a snap. It says powerful features that build on Apple intelligence help you get more done in Keynote pages numbers in freeform. As an Apple Creator Studio subscriber, you get access to a wide range of high quality content and new AI capabilities to help with your project. So here's what I thought I saw. So it says quickly put together presenter notes. So again, this is for people who create pitch decks and do school projects and research. It says generate notes from, generate notes for any slide using insights from your entire presentation. So I guess it can summarize stuff for you. And it says they're added to your existing notes and can be easily fine-tuned with writing tools. So that's great for people in college who need to present stuff and they just quickly want like little bullet points about what they're talking about. All right, here it says, deep breath, generate slides automatically. Keynote can intelligently turn any outline into a cohesive slide deck, complete with presenter notes. Again, that's more for people who are into research and school, academia type stuff, and business pitch decks. Here it says, access high quality media from the Content Hub. So this is interesting because like I said, they're coming for everybody. So as you guys know, Adobe has like something called like Adobe Stock, I think it's called. And there's iStock and all types of companies out there who just collect assets, whether video or images, and you can basically license them. So they're using that same business model here from what I see. It says access high quality media from the Content Hub, tap into a variety of Apple curated photos, illustrations, graphics, backgrounds, and more without ever leaving your apps. So again, they're coming for everybody. Okay, so let's read the next one. All right, so here it says advanced image creation and editing. Make and remix images, illustrations, and graphic elements right in your documents. Super resolution lets you upscale images, which is super fire because we used to have to go out of the app, upscale, bring it back. It was so many steps. Super resolution lets you upscale images while preserving details, and auto crop gives you suggestions for the best look. So this is where I think we can do image generation. It's not really clear if it generates the images or what, but I assume so. That looks kind of like AI. So nextly, it says, get ahead, start with beautiful templates and themes. So again, this is going after Canva. All you need to create everything from event posters to storyboard decks with multiple layouts and full customization. So Apple really said, we're creating our own ecosystem, and that's it. All right, it says, clean up your slides, refine and deliver presentation-ready designs with ease. Keynote can automatically correct layout, typography, and alignment issues with a single tap or click. Lastly, it says complete your sheet with magic fill, get suggested contents, or generate formulas for empty cells based on recognized patterns. So similar to, I guess, Google Sheets, how like they have this new thing with Gemini where it like just can auto format your stuff for you. Like I said, Apple's doing the right thing with AI, which is to figure out how to optimize all this stuff to make everything easier so that we're creating in a flow instead of stopping on one point and giving up just because we don't know how to get over a small little thing. So they're coming for next with this Creator Studio. I gotta say, the fact that Apple and Google are surprising me as like the comeback kids, the underdogs in this case, that is shocking me. But they were cooking. So it says this starts 1/28. So I guess January 28th is when we can subscribe to Creator Studio. I'm definitely going to hop on subscription. I can't even say it. I'm going to hop on their subscription for Creator Studio so I could try out this other stuff. This is intriguing me to try stuff I'm not even into. Like, for example, I don't necessarily use Final Cut Pro. Now I want to try it. I don't necessarily use, Pixelmator, but now I want to see if it's similar to my Photoshop workflow. If not, no big deal, but I want to try it, okay? Because this is all in the ecosystem, and I'm definitely going to try the sound library. Shout out to Count the GOAT. Okay, y'all, subscribe if you're new. Peace out, guys.